Yo.
You.
It has been a very long 2 weeks, but your girl is here. Unfortunately, VJ is not with me, but you are tuned in to Making Moguls. Poli, you can hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
Okay, perfect. So my name is Dime. I'm half of the Making Moguls team. Let me hold up. First of all, let me make sure you can see me or whatever. All right, there we go. We both on screen. So it's your girl Dime, and you are now tuned into Making Moguls. Unfortunately, today VJ could not make it. He is living his best life in Vegas. Left me behind, just disrespectful. But as you know, the show must go on. And instead of him, I actually have another one of my business partners in the building today as my guest and my special co-host, Poli.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on, everybody?
How are you?
I'm good. Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, this was very last second. I texted him like, what you doing later? You want to come on the show?
Just old fashioned.
Yes, this is kind of just like how we work at this point. At this point, it's like, oh yeah, you want to start a business together? Yeah, what you thinking? Oh, here, let's do this.
We outside.
Right. So we always start our show with our small wins. So every week we talk about one small win that happened in this past week. Okay. So a little background. Obviously, everybody knows that, we all celebrate the big ones. Definitely. All of the lit stuff that happens, all of the huge things, but there's a bunch of little things that lead up to that. Yeah. So I'm going to share VJ's because, like I said, he's not here, but he actually called me yesterday and was like, yeah, so my small win happened. So those of you guys that know us, VJ owns a cannabis lifestyle company called Cannabaddies. And this is the second year that they've been like exclusively invited to the Las Vegas Cannabis Awards.
That's fire.
Like invited. Somebody reached out. It was like, y'all need to come.
Be there, yeah.
And he went. Okay,
nah, it's fire. I've been watching his IG. He's having a blast.
Yo, for real. Like, we had so many conversations about this, just like the house where they was gonna be staying and all that. Like, Airbnb is a bitch. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, it's that platform is just progressively getting more and more horrible. Wow. As time goes on, it's crazy. Literally. But he was able to find something really nice. And when he got there, he sent me a video of the house. Fire. Ooh. Like, it's mad big. They ain't no bunk beds. Everybody that know me know that I'm like crazy when it comes to Airbnbs. Like, you want a lot of people to stay in a place and they adults. Yeah, we don't do bunk beds.
They be trying it.
They really do be trying it.
It was like, oh, I'm adult, I'm supposed to sleep in that kid-sized bunk bed.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Yo, nah. And then some of them, like, the cabins and stuff, they'll be having like the full size bunk beds, and they think they doing something, and it's like, okay, it's cute. Like, I get the concept. It's all rustic out here, and they be having the wooden bunk beds and stuff. But now I'm thinking about termites.
No, literally.
Think about bugs,
bed bugs, something.
Right.
I'm not with it.
Yeah. But this was like a 5-bedroom. Every room that he went into in the video had 2 queen size beds. I was like, I need to book this. Like, what are we talking about?
That's definitely fire.
So VJ Small went. So apparently the actual award show was yesterday.
Okay.
Was it yesterday? I think it was either yesterday or today. And he had met like the owner or the coordinator of the actual award show beforehand. So it's kind of like, all right, I mean, now that I know the guy, like, what's next? And the great thing is like, when I spoke to him and he told me, first of all, obviously I was very happy for him because, like, that's exciting as hell. But the whole, like, main factor of it is you've met the plug.
Exactly.
And now when you go, you can walk in there with a different type of confidence.
A different type of energy. I agree.
And exactly a different type
That's
of
definitely a
energy.
W.
You
That's
just walk in there like, we outside. Like,
yeah.
what happened? I'm
We
in
should be
here. I'm
here.
walking in with all the bad bees, you know what I'm saying? All the pretty ladies.
Of course.
You know, that was exclusively invited.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, might I add?
Okay.
Right.
That's fine.
And now I know the person that put this whole thing together.
No,
so,
that's definitely a win. That's definitely a W.
yes, definitely a win. When he comes on next week, he can't say that one because I said it for him.
I'm
How about that?
Congrats
All
to
right.
him on that. Though. Congrats on that W.
My small win of the week. I made it through a week of summer camp. Wow, bro. When
Exhausted.
I tell y'all, I think last week was July 4th, right? So
Yes.
I didn't even have to do Monday, but the wedding was Saturday.
Okay.
So the person who's summer camp, like the program director and all that, got married on Saturday. I was supposed to be in Miami for Bowling for Peace. Shout outs to H2O and, you know, and his whole team and everything. I was supposed to be there. And, you know, I got sick and, you know, I lost somebody in my family. So I wound up not going.
Mm-hmm.
Then the decision was, well, this is my client, but he's also my friend.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? If I'm not going to be in Miami, I'm going to go to the wedding.
Yeah.
Man, I confirmed to them that I'm coming to the wedding. Now I become interim event planner. Yeah. Yeah. So I had to basically like manage this wedding. Mind you, I've been to like this many weddings. One wedding. And I was the bartender.
Wow.
That was it.
Damn.
I've never been to a wedding. So there's people asking me like the caterers, for example, oh, do you have these type of plates, or where do you want me to put this display of food? Where's the cake table going? Oh, what order do the mothers walk out to light the candles on the table? I'm like, that's a thing? I have never seen that on TV.
Yeah, no, I never knew that was a thing.
It was definitely a thing. So that happened Saturday. Sunday, I had to like try to, you know, go off guard, like off the radar. And then Monday, we had a whole barbecue.
Well, yeah, literally. So it's just back to back to back to back.
And then 4 days of summer these kids.
Oh yeah.
I don't even work with the kids.
And they've been waiting to get out of school, so they got energy.
Man, I am tired, but I made it. See, I came straight from work. I got my Brooklyn United summer camp shirt on. Okay, like I also got my MC and Co hat on. So you know, shout outs to Ki. But yeah, that is my small win of the week, which feels like a big win because I'm tired. I got 5 more weeks to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Summer's that long, huh?
It's longer than that, but summer camp is that long.
Wow. Well, this is the first W. You got a couple more to go.
5 more. 5 more. All right. So what about you?
That's a good prompt. I was sitting here thinking this whole time, what's a W consist of? I would say one W that I had, and this was over last weekend. I went to an event. My friend was like throwing this event, so she invited me to an event as like B-sides event where they play like all like not the biggest hits, but like, you know, the B-side tracks and stuff. So it was pretty cool. It was a dope event.
That's dope. That sounds like a really dope concert.
It was a vibe because it was just like, oh shit, I haven't heard that since, or I haven't heard this since, oh wow, I forgot Wiz Khalifa made this. Like, you know, it's one of those types of things. So I was there at the event just, you know, vibing, networking and stuff. And I ended up networking one of the guys who like founded the company. And then I was just chopping it up with him about like what I do and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then he was basically saying like his biggest complaint was that like trying to find like a reliable media person for like his events and stuff. So pretty much, long story short, I just started talking to him randomly outside, and yeah, we just started networking and stuff, and we just hit it off. And then he was pretty much like, a next event that he does, he like wants like oversold to like help do media. So it's just like
fire.
That's a dope W. And I was just here getting a drink, chilling,
right. I just came to chill.
Literally. So,
but that's when you make the best connects. I think when you just go outside and you're like, all right, I'm actually out here. Yep. Let me just,
make
be open to whatever happens. No,
literally. And I've, as I'm getting older, I've been more and more open to just like new conversations and stuff like that. Like really keeping an open mind. So literally the way we started talking was I was outside, I think. Yeah, I was outside, like, I guess just on the phone with one of my friends. And then he started talking to me randomly about something. I forgot. And then it just started as a random conversation. And then just hit it off. And then we started talking about ethnicities. And then I found out he was Guyanese and I'm part Guyanese. So we just started talking randomly. And then, I didn't know that he owned, the event company and stuff. So it was dope. It was definitely a dope connection. But that's why I've been trying to be more open to networking and stuff. Because sometimes I'd be really antisocial. I'd be there like...
You and I both.
Right. I was like, when is it time to leave? Right. After I get there, it's like...
got there. Right.
I should be leaving in 1 hour and 55 minutes.
Wow. You give yourself a lot of time. I'm not going to lie. Because, like, when I was actually frequencing showcases, my cap was an hour. I was like, okay, I'm going and I'm doing this appearance and I'm gonna be there for an hour. I get there, everybody's, time, you made it, you came out, I'll never see you outside. That takes about an hour, then it wears off and it's time for me to go.
Yeah, I'm gone. Yeah. I honestly used to do an hour, but I haven't been as outside. So
right, so you gotta get more time.
Get more used to it, I guess. Because otherwise, I have one conversation and be like, all right. Bye. Simpson fade into the bushes.
Nah, that's a fact. So let's talk about you.
Okay.
So we was a little behind. Our loyal listeners know that, the way this show is set up, we be on 7 to 8, give or take.
Yeah.
So, but I definitely asked you to come on the show because, one, it's long overdue.
Definitely.
But also because you have a lot of things that you do.
Definitely.
And I want to kind of hone in on a specific thing. Mm-hmm. Now, within all of the things that you do, contracts is a really big part of it.
Definitely.
And just kind of like being in the right place at the right time, putting yourself next to the right people. I feel like you solidify a lot of your contracts and a lot of your clients and people that you work with off of more so referral basis and, just kind of being around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Literally. So I want to go into that. First, tell people what exactly it is that you do. What are your businesses and, the main things.
The main things. Okay, cool. So the first business would be Oversold Media Group. So Oversold Media Group is my main company. It's my baby. I made this with $1 and a dream back in 2014 when I graduated college, and I was broke, struggling, paying school loans, paying rent, paying bills, and really trying to figure out what the hell to do, I had graduated with a college degree, but I was working a salary job that was completely underpaid for what I was doing. I was commuting 2.5 hours every day. I was just miserable. I literally was miserable. And I'm just like, okay, at the time I was doing photography like on my iPhone, and I had a camera, and I was doing it, just for the love. I love pictures, just taking pictures, just finding pictures and stuff. And just capturing them. And then, I'm just like, okay, so let me try and make some income because this salary job ain't cutting it. Right. So I went out trying to get jobs as a photographer, and I was getting violated. Like, I'm getting turned down. I'm getting like, do you have a photography degree? Do you have any past clients? A photography degree, that's
do you
have any past clientele you can refer us to? Yeah. Have you have any campaigns you've done? A ton of questions, and I'm here like, I got Instagram. that's about it.
Right.
You know, and a couple of pictures I shot of some friends.
Right.
So I realized, like, especially in a place like New York City, where, you know, not originally from here. I moved here in 2007.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, where are you from?
Trinidad. So I moved there in
I'm not
2007.
bugging. Okay.
Yeah.
But from
From
wow.
Trinidad. So I was 15 when I moved here.
Oh wow.
So one thing I realized here, and I realized that very quickly. Again, I was coming from a tiny island that, like, Rhode Island is bigger than. So literally, like, there, everyone knew everybody. Everybody was like more community based. It was more local. It was more everyone knows everybody or knows somebody that knows somebody.
Yeah.
I moved over here where it's literally millions and billions of people that walk right past each other, don't even say nothing to each other. And I'm just like, wow, like, okay, so how do I compete? Because clearly this is the home of competition. New York City is the home of competition.
Yes.
If you can compete here successfully, you could take over anywhere. Because as you know, here there's literally hundreds to thousands of people doing exactly what you do.
Right.
So it's all about differentiation and how can you define yourself differently and uniquely aside from everybody else. So I realized, like, clearly is like it's hard for me to do, you know. So I realized, like, okay, I don't have no portfolio, I have no experience, I have literally nothing. So I'm literally starting from nothing. So I'm like, okay, let me reach out to some of my friends that I know are like trying to do the same. So one of my friends, who's actually like my videographer for my company, we both like were doing photography around the same time, and we're just like, okay, now we're gonna just like use each other's portfolios. So we would shoot each other, and then we would use each other's portfolios. So it's like we were helping each other and bartering. Your favorite word?
Yes.
It was bartering, and then we started working together. So now I'm just like, okay. So now when we're applying to photography jobs and gigs, I'm sending my pictures, his pictures, my portfolio, his portfolio, and we're just doing it together.
Smart.
So then we were getting more gigs. So we did our first paid gig together. It was some house party in Williamsburg, and we got paid like $100, $150, but we split it. But for us, it was just like, oh, shit, we got paid off of something we love. And like, we didn't go to school for this. This is all self-taught, self-learned, you know. So it was the first time I really like proved to me, and I proved to we proved to ourselves that, like, okay, we can like put our forces together. So pretty much at that point, it was like, okay, clearly, you know, me at the time, I had advertising experience, I had some digital marketing experience. So I'm like, okay, clearly we need to make a company that's like a media company where we could combine stuff. So for me, I had advertising experience, photography. So I basically put that into the company. And then I had social media experience, so I put that in. And then I basically went about teaching myself videography, graphic design, web design. And I learned some of it. Majority of it was self-taught, but some of it was like in advertising. Like it would be like an advertising asset for a client, and they wanted me to update it. So I had to like learn how to update it because it would take too long to send it to another agency and get it back. So a lot of it was self-taught, and I just started realizing that, you know, so much knowledge and information out here, and like you can really be resourceful if you really put it together. So while we were trying to figure out the name for the company, we were literally trying to figure it out, and then my ex-girlfriend at the time, and no, she does not get copyright claim to anything, but
you know what?
She actually, we were trying to figure out a name because I was trying to figure out how to, because I'm like, yo, I put my soul into everything I do. I put my soul and all into everything I do. So I'm just like, I wanted a name that combined like soul in there, but like with media. So we were literally like Googling names and like trying to find something. And then like she stumbled upon like the Oversoul. And then that it triggered a memory in college where I read an essay by one of my favorite philosophers named Ralph Waldo Emerson. And he wrote an essay called The Oversoul. And basically what it was pretty much a concept saying where as people, we got separated because of like culture, racism, class, society, fashion, a bunch of different things kind of like broke us apart and made us compete with each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? Instead of understanding that we are all connected. You know what I mean? So for me, one of the biggest like concepts from there was just like, if one voice yells out a message into the universe, it isn't heard. But if we're all coming together to emanate the same message, it's received by everyone in the universe.
Right.
So I kind of held on to that. And then with Oversoul, I embodied that. So I took every moving piece that I do, all the different knowledge and resources I had, and I put it together in one. And then I basically started bringing aboard different creatives that I know, you know, didn't have as much business experience, weren't really good at client management, weren't really good at sales, weren't really good at marketing, and basically put it all together into one company so I could start to build a team and help like creatives, different like minority businesses, small businesses be able to help each other and create an ecosystem.
That is amazing. And how long have you had
I
Oversoul?
started Oversoul in October of 2014.
Wow.
And yeah, in my terrible small apartment basement in Bed-Stuy.
I mean, listen, we all got to start somewhere.
Yes.
And talking about starting somewhere, so for you, do you feel like when you first started Oversoul, were you quick to register it with the state?
Mm-mm.
How long did it take you?
So to be honest, I started Oversoul in October 2014. I did not register Oversoul until January of 2017. And reason why being was because it kept evolving. Mm-hmm. It started off as just photography, and media and social media and like some branding and then more pieces of as I started building experience, digital marketing I put in there, videography I put in there. So I started adding more pieces to it, and then it just kept evolving. So now it turned into like a multimedia production company and like marketing consulting company as well. But then we do event production, talent management, branding, advertising. So like it kind of turned into so many more different things because even like in 2019, I realized like, oh, I want to start doing showcases. No, actually 2017, I did my first showcase. Mm-hmm. That's when I launched a company, December 6th, 2017. I did my first show ever, and it's the first type of show where I do now where I combine all different types of media and art. So I had like rappers, dancers, singers, comedians, spoken word artists, poets, and then I had like different vendors. And so I started doing that in 2017, and it's crazy because now a lot of people do it. So I'm honestly blessed that like, I got to do it.
Some people.
And no, I definitely did because I had some people that came up to me and was like, yo, I didn't even know that was you that started that. Like I saw that years ago. It was like, yo, I was trying to perform, I was reaching out, and I just didn't know that like it had so much of a bigger impact. Mm-hmm. So then in 2019, after like a couple people was asking me like, yo, what happened to the shows? What happened to the show? That big show was great. I did a 12-piece series where I did a different theme showcase every month. And I switched up the performers, the vendors, the theme of it. So in 2019, I had like a successful 12-piece series, one showcase every month.
Oh, wow.
So that was definitely dope. But that's why I waited till 2017 to register it, because it still kept evolving.
Right.
And then like I also wanted to make sure like, okay, I have my website on point, I have like my branding on point, because it just kept evolving, So I didn't register until 2017, and then that's where I'm just like, okay, let me learn about my taxes, let me learn about like business registration, let me learn about like all of the business side. Like go really in depth with the business side, because I felt like I was focused on like the creative side and the actual like day-to-day before. So yeah.
So the turning point for you was what exactly? What was like the thing that made you feel like, okay, now is the time I gotta register it?
When I closed my first client, my first 2 successful like clients.
Yes, that's
so
what
that was like
2017,
and that's when like, okay, I know you have my taxes done.
Right.
They want invoices. They want this. They want that. I'm just like, okay.
Yep.
I can't just like, avoid it anymore, because I'm just like, it's so expensive to register a business here.
Really
it's the most expensive state to register.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
I know. That's why I be trying to not register here, but
trust me,
kind of have to.
Yeah, it's like no going around it. But
it really isn't.
That was
but it's like that's how you know the difference.
Yeah.
Between, I'm not gonna disrespect anybody's business and call it a hobby. Between a passion project and a business, because you find that this time comes where it's like, okay, what am I doing? Let me kind of hone in and figure out like what exactly the goal is here. And then I feel like right after you get to that point, here comes a client that's like, okay, I need this, and you don't have none of that stuff because you're not registered yet. There's certain paperwork, there's certain things that they ask for. I've had an EIN number for Dime Life since I started Dime Life in 2016.
Yeah,
but
most people don't know that's free, right?
Yeah.
Yo, there are people charging people for EINs, and I'm just like,
I know.
No. Google, folks, Google is your best friend as a business
Say it one
owner.
more time. One more time.
Google, aka God, is your best friend as a business owner. Every skill I have has all been off of Google, YouTube, asking somebody questions. But I kid you not, Google and literally doing the due diligence, putting an hour into like doing the research really makes such a difference, because like I think that's kind of one of the things that kind of makes me a little bit furious when I see people kind of get taken advantage of, but it's just like that information is out there and it's for free. You pay for internet, it's for free.
Right. Some people, I think that they just don't take the time to educate themselves.
I agree. They want to pull it off fast.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Really no fast way.
It's no fast way. It's no like, when did you start Dime Life?
I officially rebranded Road to Stardom to Dime Life in 2016.
2016.
Yes.
But as you see, like it was no
2020.
It was no easy way there, and then like it evolved. It probably changed. You see what I'm saying? And then what was like your breaking point that like you felt like, okay, now I got to register everything?
It was the same thing for me. Like I kind of had this thought process that, okay, like I've been doing this so long, because remember I started producing shows when I was 17. So 2010 was actually my start.
Wow.
And between 2010 and 2016, I was just kind of like just doing things. Mm-hmm. And then there came a time where I was like, do I want to keep just doing things, or do I want to have an actual business? And so basically what happened was, right, I had this fashion show called Hennessy Fashion Week. In September of 2016, I did an event at SIR Studios, which everybody knows is like one of the top recording, band rehearsal studios in Manhattan, period. They have offices in like LA and stuff too, but top of the line. And the event was sponsored by Hennessy. Wow. So for me, it was just kind of like, okay, like I have to get this thing on paper at some point. Nobody asked me for specific things. Yeah. I went to my partner was LP at Big Boy Management, and God rest his soul. I had told him my idea. He believed in me. He was like, all right, I'm gonna invest in it. We're gonna do this together. We made it happen. So everything specific, like all of that business stuff, he provided that through his magazine. Fast forward, I realized how many influencers came out to that event, how many, celebrities and like mainstream A-list actors and stuff were at that event. And it became one of those things like, okay, I want to keep doing this. Yeah. And then when I decided to start Celebs in Fashion in February 2017, I also quit my job. And I was like, this has to work or it has to work. So that's when I decided to actually register it. But I did it. So it really took for me to make some money with the company to really believe that I could. Yeah. Once I started bringing on clients and I'm producing events for other people, and, I'm realizing I've never filed taxes on this business, and I don't have any type of like real paperwork to show for all of the work that I've been putting in over these years. So I can't get a loan. I can't get nobody to give me any real funding. I can't talk to investors. I got to talk to private investors, people that just believe in me and what I'm doing. That wasn't enough for me. That's when I registered the company.
Wow, that's dope.
Yeah. So I don't know, like
it's a journey.
Yeah, you really have to. I think what's happening is we have a lot of gurus, quote unquote. We got a lot of people saying a lot of things, and it's not always the right information. When the time is right for you.
100%.
People do not have to rush to register businesses, because what happens is you're wasting a lot of money. And you're not ready yet. Yeah. You barely have a business yet. Chill out.
No, exactly. Definitely.
Chill out. Make it happen. Do it eventually. But like, put in some work and actually figure out, like you said, like these businesses, they change all the time. You can always register and then, you know, reorganize a couple things, change some things around. It took me no time to register Scoop.
Yeah. No time.
Scoop,
yeah.
that I was like, all right, we doing this business.
Let's go.
All right, boom, bank account done.
Yeah.
Registration done. Everything
and it gets
back
easier.
to back.
It gets easier.
Yep.
It literally gets easier.
It was my first baby, so Dom Life had to, like, you know, it took some time.
Nah, definitely. Definitely. I understand.
So aside from Oversoul, you have other businesses.
Yes.
So let's move on. What's the next thing?
So the next one will be New Heat Studios, which I have my amazing business partner across from me. You feel me? Would not be able to do it without you, I swear. If it's somebody that keeps me in check.
Oh my God, I be yelling. Yo, see, that'd be the crazy thing, because I'm the nicest person.
But
my
assistant
will be like, no, you're not. Yeah. But okay, so business is not about being nice. Like,
no, at all.
I think my partners respect me because of how I am.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, and there's people there, and their job is to set up for their own art event. Like, why are you there helping them set up? Don't care.
I definitely agree. But I think it's necessary, because I feel like that's one thing that, like, I think is great, is like we're both genuine with each other, and we know that. So it makes like if it's anything, any situation, Dom got my back. If it's any situation, you know what I mean? Like, we could literally each leave the state and know that everything's good hands, and got to worry about nothing. You know what I mean? So I think, honestly, like that's a blessing in itself. You know what I mean? Because we've both been through some shitty business relationships, you know?
Yes,
and, you know, here's the key thing. Like, running a business is not easy, and running a business on your own is a challenge in itself, you know? So a lot of the times, you know, being an entrepreneur in multiple businesses, you know, like, you take risks, you take the leap, you know what I mean? Because if anything else, it's either I take this leap of faith or I wait.
Right.
You know?
And then you're going to be waiting
forever. And you see in New York City, time is not waiting for you. So I think it's one of those things where it's like you kind of have to go through it, but you have to go through it with like a gauge of people and be able to like gauge people and stuff.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that made our business partnership very successful is because we actually worked together before.
Yes.
So for your past brand, like pretty much when I was working, doing delivery, and we were working together, money moves, orders, constant communication, like, off rip, I'm just like, okay, you're the mastermind of this. Yeah. You're clearly the mastermind of this. This would not happen if it wasn't for you. Okay. So it was one of those things where it's just like, I think just even off of that was able to like make an easier business partnership for us, because we both understood each other. We both know our strengths. We both know like exactly how we maneuver. So definitely. But New Heat Studios is the second one. It's photography, videography, podcasting, event production space. You can create anything there. It's a full creative space. We've created every experience there at this point. We've done paint and sips. We've done artist releases. We've done baby showers. We've done, you name it, we've done it there. Right now, we actually have an art gallery exhibit there where we're supporting a lot of Black and minority community local artists.
Yes.
They feature their artwork at New Heat Studios. We collabed and opened up the space. And pretty much we're allowing a lot of like minority artists in the community and local artists in the community to be able to get their work out on a platform, and using our platform to help them sell their art, get more audience and exposure. So, you know, it's a blessing, because like this business allows us to really like venture into like our creative side and collaborate and bring in and provide a platform that's like needed. As you see how expensive it is to rent, we've both done events and spaces. It's ridiculous. It's literally ridiculous at this point.
It really is.
So I think, you know, honestly, like New Heat is definitely a blessing, because it allows us to do that, you know, where so many people are searching for it. So many people are looking for that, you know. So yeah, that is New Heat. And then my last business is Green Lanterns Medical Club. Yeah. Which is cannabis culture and lifestyle brand, where basically we teach people about all of the great properties of THC, and we challenge a lot of the stigmas behind it as well. So a lot of people didn't know, like, you can cook with THC infused vegetable oil. Yeah. You can bake with it.
I thought it was just
you could use
a butter thing.
No, so with this brand, we've infused THC butter, THC sugar, salt, flour, vegetable oil, canola oil if you want to fry.
Wow.
Water. We did like THC infused water at one point. Like, yeah, we've been experimenting and basically combining THC with a lot of different traditional methods and mediums to kind of challenge some of those stigmas. You know, most people think, you know, when they hear THC and cannabis is all smoking weed and this and pothead and blah, 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 blah. So we challenge a lot of those stigmas and actually provide like a lot of like the medical benefits and properties behind that as well.
Wow.
So, you know, even like
I didn't even know it was that deep.
Oh yeah. It just looks a little pretty, but
right.
It definitely goes a lot deeper. You know, just with like the environment we're in and how the landscape has changed in New York, especially New York City, I felt like that was one of the businesses that I had to like rebrand with that awareness coming into mind, because it was one of those things where for years I was teaching people. Like I would go out to Cali, I would go to conventions, I would go to different events and meet a couple people and then come back here and just like, oh, did you know that like this strain is used for this medical property, it helps with this, or you have back pains, you got chronic pain, this helps with this, you know. So then I started realizing like there's such a bigger medical side to it that a lot of people really don't have no idea because they're still stuck in those older stigmas, you know?
Right.
So it was one of those things where it allowed me to really go into that. So with that brand, we've done like 420 comedy shows, 420 showcases with artists performing and stuff like that. So yeah, that is all.
Wow. I mean, that's really something. I didn't know it was set up like that.
Yes.
All I usually see is like you'll come out with all the stuff and you'll vend and it's all like, you know, nice and cool vibes and all that. But there's really like a whole lifestyle that you're pushing.
I have like for example, so like I'll have like flowers, edibles, and then like cooking products and then like smoking accessories and stuff. But I have this older guy, he's like about to turn 70, but he looks amazing. Like this guy looks like he could be like my uncle, like 40s or something. Like he looks amazing for his age. He works out, everything. And he's actually like, he purchases flour and edibles and some of the cooking products every month. And it's just because he's like, you know, the smoking is cool, but like sometimes like, you know, it affects my like breathing and stuff. So sometimes like I'd rather like eat it or cook with it, because then I could choose how much and I could control how much, and then like it's just easier, you know. So everybody is different, but for me, I think it's great because I can help a lot of people like get like some of the medical, you know, benefits and stuff that he needs, and he uses it for like his back pains.
Wow.
You know, he has like really bad back pains and he has glaucoma. So
well, I mean, he is 70.
Yeah, definitely. So that's why he uses it, but he uses it in that way, you know. So I've actually me and my chef, we've been, the next thing that we're kind of like experimenting on is like CBD and THC infused animal treats. Yeah, for like dogs, cats specifically.
You can definitely, you know, give me some samples.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it'll calm them down.
I don't know why all of a sudden they want to bark all night. They never did it before. Too many people done been chilling at my house
so
lately.
Now they acted up. They acted
accordingly. So that's why we don't do roommates no more, because they done lost their minds. Send me some treats. That's really dope. I'm excited to see how that rolls out. I actually have, it's more of a feminine brand, cause it's like one of those, girls like love to, you know, smoke weed type of companies, but they started to pivot in a food direction, but they already have like the huge following and all that. I'm gonna send you their page because I feel like there's some branding things that you can kind of take from them and recreate. Nice. And she does like a lot of wholesaling. So I bought like 9 or 10 cannabis teas to white label.
Nice,
Yeah, I ain't do nothing with them. They sit in my closet, so you can have them. But yeah, she does like a lot of like white label and stuff. And if you ever go in a direction of like soaps and lotions and stuff, they do that too.
Nice.
So it's like I'm gonna send it to you. I got you. I'm not gonna promote it here because I want people to buy your thing. But
that sounds dope.
All of the things.
Yes,
like
yes.
the time is here where like no brand or company has to be like one thing.
Yeah. No, 100%. And then especially in New York City, like I said, all of, like with everything, like I've had to adjust, like, you know, make changes with each business and make changes in like my approaches because like it's New York City and it's constantly changing, constantly adjusting, you know.
That's a fact.
Even to talk about like contracts and stuff, because I felt like we talked about without talking about the contracts.
Right.
So I'll bring it back to the topic, contracts. Even with contracts, that's something that I realized like I had to change about myself and the way I do business because for a long time I was doing business off of word of mouth. Like, oh yeah, you got me right. Okay, cool. Yeah.
We ain't doing that.
I'm chasing you for my payment now. Okay, you it's me. Hey, it's me. A week later, I still need to get paid.
Right.
So I realized for me, and it's not nothing personal, but I was starting to take it personal where people was like playing with my money.
Yeah.
After, like, I just did your job. Like I did photography for you. I did some marketing for you. And it's like, now I have to chase you while you have your product or service and I'm sitting here twiddling thumbs.
Right.
So I realized like, okay. And then after, you know, of course I had corporate experience and I've seen contracts and stuff. So I basically started going into like making like my own sample contracts and having like template contracts and stuff because I realized like, okay, I need to be able to legally protect myself.
Right.
Especially in a world where everyone has legal protection, you know, especially with bigger companies and corporations and brands, and you could get sued for any and everything.
Yes.
I realized like I had to protect myself. So that's why I started like doing contracts, even like even I've had interns, assistants, I've made them all sign contracts. You know what I mean? And not saying like, you know, interns are going to sue me or anything like that.
Yeah, but regardless.
It's more so like the business approach beside it. And then also like, God forbid, you know, IRS wants to audit.
Right.
They want to see everything. You know what I mean? So
I feel like it's very important for everything and everyone because it also shows how seriously you take your own business.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like when I have conversations with people, we don't move forward without a contract. And then when I'm like working with clients and stuff and I have to help them deal with their clients, I'm always like, you don't have a contract for them?
Yeah,
like
no.
I don't know if I want to like continue to help you know, with this conversation. Like we need contracts. It's just.
I think a very important part of contracts is being able to highlight and lay down boundaries. Because I think that's another thing when it comes to being an entrepreneur and a business owner.
Yep.
Boundaries are very, very important. Boundaries with friends, boundaries with customers.
Absolutely.
Boundaries with potential clients. You know what I mean? It's definitely very key to set boundaries. You know what I mean? And I think contracts definitely helps, you know, solidify that because now you have the boundaries laid out and we both sign and agree it.
Right.
We both actually give consent, you know. I started working with a non-for-profit last year. So I learned about they don't do contracts because they're non-for-profits. They do MOUs, which are memorandum of understanding.
Yes.
So I never knew about that. Like I've just done contracts, agreements, very official stuff. So once I saw MOUs, I'm like, oh, this is just another form of contract and agreement. You know what I mean? But in a non-for-profit world, that's how they have to frame it to legally protect themselves.
Yep.
So because they're not
a whole other world.
They're not a business, a regular traditional business.
Right. They're not a for-profit.
For-profit. So, you know, just even being exposed to that and seeing the difference of an MOU to a contract was one of those things where I had to understand boundaries and understanding like how it helped lay them out. You know what I mean? So I think that's one of the key things about contracts is being able to like verbalize and put everything into writing and paper, but at the same time form those boundaries and we both consent and agree to those boundaries, you know?
Right.
So
I definitely agree. Yeah, even the way I word my emails. Like, I swear, my interns are just starting. Today is their first day. Well, our interns. And I know they think I'm crazy already. Cause I don't know if you heard my voice note and WhatsApp the other day. Okay. Because like they are very smart girls. That's the crazy part. But we not gonna write emails like we don't have any. Any you're in school. So you have school training.
No, exactly.
So for me, I'm very intentional about the words that I use when I send emails, when I write anything down, text messages, anything, because people can turn around and use what you said or what you didn't say against you. And easily. I learned that the hard way so many times, and eventually it was like, so many times. Am I bugging? Am I just gonna keep like having the same issues, or am I going to make a change?
No, exactly. Like, let me show you an example of a bad client and a bad contract. This is where I realized like I had to get granular with my contract. So I had a client, is immigration law firm in Queens. They pretty much hired Oversoul to do social media, web maintenance, reputation management, and like digital marketing, right? So it was a cool contract. Like, it was a bunch of different things, blah, blah, blah. The contract states 20 hours a week. I said 20 hours a week. This guy was calling me every single day.
Oh, man.
Every single day.
Oh, man.
And I'm talking about has me on the phone, like, just talking. He's one of those chatterboxes. And I'm like, wait, I just spent an hour on the phone and, like, I did not agree to this. I did not agree. But I didn't even realize, because I'm, like, doing the work while taking. And I'm just like, wait, hold up.
Nope.
When I did the math, I realized I was doing 30 hours a week for this guy because I wasn't counting phone calls. You see what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't counting those, like,
count everything.
15 minutes phone call, 20-minute phone call, 10-minute phone call.
He was banking on that, though.
He kept calling up a bunch of them, but I wasn't counting because I'm just like, oh, it's quick. It's just part of the client management.
So
I had to update my contracts saying specifically these hours institute meeting time, call time, blah, 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 and get very granular. And then, honestly, I cut that contract after 2 months.
Wow.
I had to.
He just wasn't respecting
for my sanity. It was paid really good, too.
Dang.
But I had to cut it for my sanity.
Not all money is good money, y'all.
Not all money is good money.
Sometimes you hold in somebody else's bag. I say this all the time. Sometimes you are holding somebody else's bag. Let somebody else take that got that type of time.
Yeah, and I could deal with that type of annoying. I could not. I couldn't handle it.
Well, we are at the end of the show. What I want you to do real quick, tell them anything special that you got going on. Re-shout out the art exhibit, and then tell them where they can find you online.
Okay, cool. We definitely, in terms of Oversoul, we have a couple of showcases we're planning and lined up that's going to be at New Heat Studios.
Yay.
So be tuned for that. We're going to be dropping some content around that.
Fire.
And then definitely I have some more events. I'm definitely working on cooking up and stuff. We have free content days at New Heat Studios at the end of every month.
Every last
Friday. So don't forget.
Yes.
And then besides that, we have an art gallery exhibit going on from Monday to Thursday at New Heat Studios. Pretty much a lot of the local minority community, local artists I was talking about are featuring their artwork and showcasing there. So if anyone is free to come by and check that out. And then you can find me on IG at Paulie Don Death Lord. So PAULIEDONDEATHLAWD. It's my personal. My business account is Oversoul Media Group. So OVERSOULMEDIAGROUP. One word. And then New Heat Studios is New Heat Studios.
Facts.
One word.
See?
New Heat
Simple.
Studios. NEWHE.
Guess who made that up? These long Instagram names.
Yes.
Listen, just go on the Make It Mogul show. See?
Yeah. Simple.
The Make It Mogul show, and we'll make sure that all of that is tagged for y'all so y'all can follow Paulie, follow his journey, and continue to learn, you know what I'm saying, from these moguls that be coming on the show. because we out here. We making moguls and we meeting the moguls that's already made. You feel me? What I got going on? Real quick, I just want to make sure I'll plug Beach Fest. This is year number 3. So July 31st, we are on Coney Island Boardwalk again, like we are every year for Beach Fest. So performances, fashion walks, all the things. We outside. And then in August, I'm doing a wing festival.
Ooh.
Yes. I'm so excited. Okay. Everybody know that I be hungry and I really like wings. So
I love wings. I'm gonna send some chefs to you.
Yes, please do. Please do. Oh, also, just quick plug, July 23rd and 24th at New Heat Studios. Yes, Munchie Con at New Heat Studios. Make sure y'all pop out. Hit up One City Block Artist on Instagram. He is the coordinator of that. He's also our super dope studio manager. So hit him up, get locked in. This is the Make It Mogul Show. I'm going to need y'all to make sure that y'all stop by every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m.
Tune in. Give
or take. And then after my show, you always want to make sure that you stay tapped in and, tune in to my homie Kanika's event. I got so many things going on in my head and I got to get back to her about this event that she's doing because we're going to sponsor it. So, okay. I'm pretty sure New Heat Studios is sponsoring that. So look, we outside. We making things happen. Yes. Stay tuned in. Kanika's up next. It's Make It Mogul Show.
Thank you for having me, Dom. I appreciate it. Y'all tune in to Make It Mogul Show, please.
Yes. I don't know who we gonna have next week, but we gonna.
And also, listen, if you want to be a guest on the show, please DM and message Making Moguls on IG, please.
Yes, please. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. This is.